Contribute a portion of your earnings to support the propagation of the agenda of Christ. You have to make it a mindset that any man that comes into your hands, you have a portion to be given to the Lord. A portion will be given to the Lord to advance the gospel. And it's on that grounds I want to speak on giving. And I'll start with tithing. I want you to understand that tithing is still valid in our day. Abraham gave tithe out of revelation because it was a testimony in his heart. There is a debate that tithing is of the law, but we know that tithing started way back from Abraham's time. What influenced Abraham to pay tithe? What influenced Abraham to pay tithe actually was a conviction he had, a testimony of the law that he has to pay tithe, and he paid the tithe. So understand that tithe is valid. If you are paying more than tithe, fine. But don't say that giving in the concept of tithe is not there any longer. And when you get money, you are not conscious to remember the Lord your God by giving your tithe. You must make sure that any money that comes into your hand, you are giving your tithe out of it. Tithe is just 10% of your income. 10% of your income. 10% of your income. Don't give less than 10%. So there are some people whose work with the Lord makes them give more than 10%. So some people, every salary they get, they give like 20% to the Lord. That is their own covenant with God. But if you can't go to that extent, don't discredit the stance of tithe in the scriptures and then say there's no tithe and then you don't give at all. It is to your own disadvantage. Tithe isn't Old Testament. We have already dealt with the law, so you know that the law of God is the same. Just that there are certain things that are not practiced now because of the design in our day. But tithe is still standing that the believer is supposed to pay. When we check the Old Testament, there were 4 different kinds of tithes. 4. The first kind of tithe was called the Levitical tithe. The Levitical tithe. Levitical tithe. Levitical tithe. Numbers chapter 18 verse 21 and 24. Please sustain yourself with your spirit and let's be able to finish this very well. Numbers chapter 18 verse 21 to 24. As you open it, as you look into the scriptures, the Levites were actually the tribe that were called by God to be separated unto the service of the tabernacle. So their work in the nation was that they are supposed to serve the tabernacle. So they are supposed to serve in the tabernacle. They are not supposed to go to the farm and work, because you know that around that time their work was more of agric. They were farmers. But the Levites were not given a land to farm. They were given the sanctuary. That the tabernacle is where they should work every day. Theirs is to stand as that in the face of all the Israelites. The other tribes in the nation should work. And then when they work, they give the Levite 10% of what they get from their income. So you have Levites scattered all over the country. So the Levites in your locality, the community is aware of the law of God. So as they harvest, they give a tithe to the Levite. That is what the Levite will eat and sustain himself and continue to serve in the tabernacle. Hallelujah. Please read it if you are there.
Numbers chapter 18 verse 21. And behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tenth in Israel.
Did you hear that? They have given the children of Levi all the tenth in Israel. Continue.
For an inheritance.
For an inheritance.
For their service, which they serve, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Neither must the children of Israel henceforth come nigh the tabernacle of the congregation, lest they bear sin and die. But the Levites shall do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they shall bear their iniquity. It shall be a statute forever throughout our generations, that among the children of Israel they have no inheritance.
That's verse what?
23.
23. Verse 24.
But the tithe of the children of Israel, which they offer as an heave offering unto the Lord, I have given to the Levite to inherit. Therefore I have said unto them, among the children of Israel they shall have no inheritance.
Okay. So actually, the tithe belongs to God. God owns the tithe. And God says that because the Levite will serve me in my tabernacle, I have given my tithe to them. So I am their portion. So what is mine is for them. So the tithe that you come and wave as a wave offering, as a heave offering, give it to the Levites as their portion. And that is what they will sustain themselves with. So like I said, the Levites were in their communities, and they take the tithes from the other people in the other tribes. That was the system. The second type of tithe is called the priestly tithe. The priestly tithe. Out of the children of Levi, the tribe of Levi, there was a family that was chosen to be priests. The family is the Aaron's family. Aaron's family. Out of the Levites was a whole tribe, and out of the Levites a family was taken. That family is Aaron's family, and that family actually were supposed to serve as priests. So remember, we have the Levites, and then we have the priests. So Aaron is the high priest, and Aaron's sons are the priests, the small priests. It's only Aaron have the advantage to go to the most high place to go and serve the Lord. The Aaron's sons serve in the holy place, and then the Levites serve in the court. So everybody and his work. But the family of Aaron, they are the priestly family. So what happens is that God said, this is the system. When the Levites take the tithe from the communities, they should also take tithe of their tithes, and then go and give it to the priest. So the priest takes tithe from the Levites, while the Levites take tithe from the whole community. That was the order. Okay. Numbers chapter 18, verse 26 to 28.
Numbers chapter 18, verse 26.
Yes.
Thus speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when ye take of the children of Israel the tithe which I have given you from them for your inheritance, then ye shall offer up an heave offering of it for the Lord, even a 10th part of the tithe. And this your heave offering shall be reckoned unto you, as though it were the corn of the threshing floor, and as the fullness of the winepress. Thus ye also shall offer an heave offering unto the Lord of all your tithes, which ye receive of the children of Israel.
Okay, so you get it. So they receive the tithes from the children of Israel, then they give tithes of the tithes that they have received to the priests. So get the order. So the whole of the Levite tribe were actually, let's say, all separated unto God to serve in the tabernacle. Then the Levites, as a tribe, they live in the communities. They take the tithes from the nation, but they have to take a tithe from the tithe they have received and also give it to the priest. So these are the two different kinds of tithe: the vertical tithe, and we have the priestly tithe. Then we have the festal tithe. The festal tithe is what they sent, the tithe they sent, the nation of Israel sent to the feasts. They had three major feasts that they celebrated: the Passover, which is the unleavened bread, and they had the Pentecost, and they had the tabernacles. So the feast of Passover, the feast of Pentecost, the feast of tabernacles. So 3 times in a year they have to appear before the Lord in the temple in Jerusalem. 3 times in a year. So if it is Ghana and maybe Jerusalem is Accra, which is the city, all the tribes have to travel to Jerusalem 3 times a year to go and celebrate Passover, Pentecost, and Tabernacles. When they are going to the feast, they have to send their tithe. Now, when they are going, they go and eat their tithe there. So, if your things are plenty and you can't send it to Jerusalem, you change it into money. When you go there, you go and buy things there, and then you eat it with your family. And the Levites from your city that you sent, from your community that you sent, you have to pay the lottery fee of the Levites in your community and send the Levites there to the Jerusalem, and then you go and eat with them that tithe in the place. So when Jesus actually descended on the people in the temple and he beat them, the problem was not there, because that was what it is done. They sold in the temple things so that people will buy the things for their feast, because it was a feast time. Remember, it was a feast time. It was a feast of Passover, and being the feast of Passover, they have brought their monies there to come and buy things to eat with their family, but they couldn't carry their whole things there. That is their tithe. But the problem is that the people were trading falsely. They were cheating and all those things. So it is not just the matter of the selling that were going on in the temple. It's not just that matter, because something they used to do. I hope you are getting me. So we have to understand that this is the first tithe. You have to understand this thing, because somebody will go and bring this up and say, tithe cry, there are different kinds of tithe. What kind of tithe are you paying? But this first tithe, so it means that as you plant and you harvest, when you give a tithe to the Levites in your locality, you must also save a tithe for the feast. So that when you are going to the feast, you send the tithe you have saved to go and spend with your family, and then with the Levites from your area. So that is actually a double tithe. Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 5 to 7. Deuteronomy chapter 12. First tithe. F-E-S-T-A-L. Feast. First tithe.
Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse number 5. But unto the place which the Lord your God shall choose out of all your tribes, to put his name there, even unto his habitation shall ye seek, and thither thou shalt come.
Okay, so that is continue. Where are you?
6.
Okay, continue.
And thither ye shall bring your burnt offerings, and your sacrifices, and your tithes, and heave offerings of your hand, and your vows, and your free will offerings, and the firstlings of your herds and of your flocks. And there shall eat before the Lord your God, and ye shall rejoice in all that ye put your hand unto, ye and your households, wherein the Lord thy God hath blessed thee.
Okay. So this is the first tithe. They sent it to Jerusalem, where God has chosen to go and eat that tithe with their family. Kebala sote de gabai. Takoba shadi balagada. In just 5 minutes, just energize yourself in the name of Jesus and talk to God and thank him for how far the Lord has brought us. Jesus. The knowledge the Lord has impacted into us. Katebeko sabalagada setalagabaya. Adedeko satalagaba sada sekebaladose. Ilabranda satekebalagas kata. Rakobedes katedegebalagada.